This is the 2026 Honda CR-V Hybrid Sport L, and in today's Vehicle Visionary video, I'm going to give you the details on this trim level if it's something you are interested in buying. If you'd like to know more, check out the link to the Holmes Honda website down in the description of the video. The exterior color on this model is going to be urban gray, and it will have a black interior. Here on the front end, we will find LED daytime running lights and LED headlights. For 2026, a change that I know a lot of you requested is unfortunately not going to be here, and that's the presence of fog lights, or at least the availability. We'll have to see what comes down the road. You will find a multitude of finishes here between gloss black, and matte gray across the front end. You can see the sensors that we're going to have here in a few different areas on the front and the rear. You have a lot of great safety features, including Honda Sensing, which includes adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation braking, lane keeping assist, road departure mitigation, and traffic jam assist. We will find 18-inch gloss black alloy wheels. Tell me what you think about that. I think that works well for the Sport L trim level because they are rather sporty looking. And we'll take a quick look at the remote. You will have lock, unlock, remote start. You can open and close your power tailgate, and you will also find your panic button right there if that's something you happen to need. By the way, that is a proximity key, and you have walk-away auto lock, something I know a lot of you are looking for. The only thing missing with your side view mirrors is that they are not power folding, they're manually folding, but they do fold. Gloss black will be the finish here. We'll find our turn signal indicators built in. They're heated, they're power adjustable, and you have your blind spot monitoring built in right there. Roof rails up top. Now you will find the conventional size sunroof, shark fin antenna, and we finish things off on the roof with the rear window spoiler right here, or rear roof spoiler as it's sometimes called. There is your rear window wiper if you need that. LED tail lights, and you can see all of your badging that will be here. Motivation to get this CR-V down the road comes from a combination of a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder and dual electric motors. All of that combined puts out 204 horsepower and 247 pounds-feet of torque, mated to an eCVT. And we will find our MPGs to be 43 city, 36 highway, 40 combined, and 2.5 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. Per the Honda Info Center website, this is a 14-gallon gas tank. For those who want to know, I know there's a lot of controversy on the internet whether it's 12 or 14 gallons. As I say, Honda gives us the information saying it is a 14-gallon gas tank. There are multiple ways to open the power tailgate, including the button on the tailgate itself that is located right above the license plate bracket, the remote, and there's a button on the interior. We're looking at 36.6 to 76.5 cubic feet worth of cargo capacity. You can see how everything looks with the rear seat backs folded down to maximize cargo space. We're going to have rear cargo area lighting right here, as you can see, on both sides, and a 12-volt power outlet, and a little bit of storage behind each fender well. If you ever run into a situation where you need to change the height of your power tailgate, here's how you do it. It's very easy to do. You're going to notice right here, it says hold to set height. Hopefully that shows up on the screen like it should. So I'm going to move that into its maximum opening position. You can raise or lower it to wherever you want it to be, and then you hold the button down and listen for the beeps. And once you hear those beeps, next time you open the tailgate, it's going to open to that setting wherever you left it, and then you can reset it accordingly depending on your needs. Rear seat passengers will find nice large armrests. I always like to see this area completely flat. It is just more comfortable that way instead of having the angled front section. We'll find the door bin right here. And to answer a very popular question, do the rear seat backs recline? You can see that they do. There are actually multiple settings where you can position these seats, and you just use the lever right here to change that to wherever is so desired for your passengers. They can do that themselves. And we will find the singular rear seat pocket only on the passenger seat. It would be pretty easy to have one over here on the driver's seat too. But I think the thing most people are going to be looking at the most when it comes to the back seat area is what we find right here. You will find the presence of air conditioning vents and USB connectivity. We'll fold down the center armrest and find my personal favorite design where we have the vertical cup holders as opposed to being parallel. And why is that important? If they're parallel to each other, then that means when you have a cup in one or the other or each, can't really use this as much of an armrest, at least not like this. In this case, no matter what the situation is, all of that space is always going to be available when it's in its down position. The sticker price is $40,575. Let's see what else you get for that price beyond what I've already shown you. Here is the glove box. Your wheel lock key is in that bag if you need it. And a little bit more room with the armrest and the door bin for the front seats. A 4-way adjustable passenger seat and a 10-way adjustable driver's seat. The passenger seat does not have lumbar support, however, the driver's seat does. And we'll find the seat memory settings right here. You have 2 for that. You can control everything for your power side view mirrors here, lock and unlock the doors, lock or unlock all 4 windows. And as far as your windows go, you have 1 touch down and 1 touch up at all 4 corners. In case you were curious, you can open and close the power tailgate here, drop the release on the steering column, and you can adjust your tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. Everything for adaptive cruise control is here. Adjust the volume and the radio over here on this side. Obviously that's volume, adjusting what you listen to here in voice commands. And you can see that you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So depending on what you want, there's Apple CarPlay. You go back down here to Android Auto, and you can see some of the different features and functionality you can go through right here. Now, on the right-hand side, you have another scroll wheel right there. I'm going to push that, and you can go in and change the view or the design of your instrument cluster. If you want to go to bar, here's how you're going to do that. We also have round minimal. And last but not least, as you already saw, we're also going to have bar minimal. And let's see how that looks. So depending on what it is you want to see or how you want things to be set up, you can go in and make those changes. We'll also find some other settings here too. Depending on what you need to do, you can change the brightness, all of that. This is a 10.2-inch driver's display or instrument cluster, whichever you wish to call that. The upper console offers a sunglass holder, and you can see some of the other controls that you have there. The only change across the board on the CR-V for 2026, you do have the addition of the TrailSport trim level. Obviously that's not what this is, but here is your change. Standard now is going to be the 9-inch touchscreen. You will find that you no longer can have the 7-inch screen. You have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can go in to your settings. Depending on what you need to do, you can do a lot of things here. A very nice setup here, but not complicated to learn and use. And we'll find the rear view camera with 3 different views. As you can see, the trajectory lines are nice and bright. That's always a good thing. Dual zone climate control. As you can see, we're going to have dual in the front and then single in the rear. You can go in and make all kinds of changes there. If you want to sync both sides together, you can do that, or unsync both sides. Heated seats only. I want my ventilated seats. That helps during the summer here in Northwest Louisiana. Connectivity for driver and passenger include a 12-volt power outlet and the USB options right here. Also a wireless charging pad. We'll get that piece of plastic out of the way. Conventional style shifter. You're going to have reverse, neutral, drive, and then you're going to have B right there. And if you're wondering what the B stands for, well, it's a little misleading to a degree, but that means brake. But it has to do with regenerative braking. It actually increases the functionality of the regenerative braking, which is using kinetic energy to keep the battery charged. We'll also find our drive mode selector right here. Let's see what those drive modes are. You're going to have normal, which is your default mode. We'll have econ, snow, and you already saw at the top that you're also going to have your sport mode. There's your hill assist control right there, hill start assist, power parking brake, brake hold mode. You'll see the orange contrast stitching, which is throughout the interior in a multitude of areas. Your cup holders right there, a little bit of space. And the center console lid can be used as an armrest. I do wish that sat a little bit higher in that respect. We will find plenty of room within the center console itself. If you want to have more control over your regenerative braking, that's what the paddles are right here. They're not shifter paddles, actually. You can increase or decrease the regenerative braking depending on what it is you want to do as far as that feature goes. Driving the CR-V is a good experience. It's nice and comfortable. The driver's seat is comfortable, and there's plenty of adjustability built in for the driver's seat with this 10-way adjustable driver's seat and the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. So no matter who is driving, no matter their height, they should be able to adjust things where they're nice and comfortable. Very easy to see out of, but in addition to that, you're also going to have those great driving aids that I told you about earlier in the video. Everything here is very easy to deal with, easy to learn and use. The screen itself, as far as this 9-inch screen, a little bit different from what we've seen in the past, but still very easy to deal with. And everything is easy to reach as far as being within the reach of the driver. Easy to adjust to accelerator pedal and brake pedal. So you're not going to have to worry about overly aggressive brakes or anything along those lines. And for those of you who don't want a turbocharged engine, well, you'll have to go hybrid with the CR-V. But that is where you're going to find the naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder. I gave you the specs on all of that earlier in the video. But a very enjoyable vehicle with a lot of space, not only here in the front seat, but also in the back seat, and a nice tight turning radius. A very versatile vehicle. Depending on your situation and what your needs are, definitely a good choice. There it is, the 2026 Honda CR-V Hybrid Sport L. Tell me what you think about this trim level. Is this what you plan to choose if you're going to buy a 2026 version of the CR-V? I'd like to say a special thanks to my friends at Holmes Honda for loaning me this CR-V for the day so I could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That's very helpful to me. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And if you would please, share this video on your timeline on social media so other people can see it. If you'd like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.